The storm outside roared louder than your thoughts. Rain battered the windows with violent force, each drop sounding like a scream against the glass. Lightning slashed the sky again and again, casting air wild glows across the living room walls for a split second before the house returned to oppressive darkness. You were freezing restlessly, your arms crossed tightly over your chest, fingers digging into your sleeves as you whispered broken thoughts to yourself. The power had been out for nearly an hour, and every minute felt like a thousand knives to your nerves. The cold marble floor beneath your feet didn't bother you anymore. What chilled you now was fear. Where is he? You whispered under your breath, eyes starting toward the main door again. What if he couldn't catch the target? What if he got ambushed? Oh god. Your voice cracked. Please let him be okay. Even if he doesn't talk to me, even if he ignores me, just bring him home safe. Tears burned behind your eyes, but you blinked them away. You hated how desperate your voice sounded, how your heart ached for a man who rarely showed emotion, who barely acknowledged your presence these days, and yet in this storm, all you could think about was him. Suddenly, creak. The front door slowly creaked open. You froze, breath catch in your throat, the wind howled in through the gap, sending a shiver down your spine. Then came the footsteps, slow, heavy, each one echoing across the silent house. You stood frozen in place, your heart slamming against your ribcage. Another lightning ball lit up the room, and in that second you saw him, Jungkook. Dripping wet, his black shirt clinging to his sculpted frame, chest rising and falling with uneven braids. Rainwater ran down his face, and there on the corner of his lip was blood. A dark bruise patch that sent your body running before your brain could even catch up. You snatched your phone from the table, thumb trembling as you turned on the flashlight. The beam shook violently, but it was enough. You ran toward him barefoot, heart pounding. Jungkook, he stumbled forward, his leg giving out mid-step. You catch his arm just in time, wrapping yourself around him to keep him from collapsing. Oh my god, you are limping. What happened? Say something. I'm fine. His voice was hoarse, quiet, but it sent relief down your spine. No, you're not. You're freezing. You're bleeding. God, why didn't you call me? He didn't respond. He just allowed you to guide him toward the couch. Leaning on you more than he probably wanted to admit, you helped him sit gently, lowering him down. He hissed softly in pain. Where does it hurt the most? Left knee. It's nothing, nothing. You're barely standing, John Chongkuk. He looked up at you. His gaze was unreadable but intense. It lingered for a moment, longer than usual, long enough to make your chest ache in confusion. But you didn't stop to think. You rushed to the bedroom, grabbed the first aid kit with urgency, and came running back. You dropped to your knees in front of him again, breathless. This might sting a little, but please don't move, okay? Just as you dipped the cotton in antiseptic and reached for his bruised lip, only the soft, trembling voice made you pause. You turned your head sharply. Standing in the hallway, hugging a pillow, was your stepsister, Alice. Her wide, innocent eyes blinked through the darkness. Unni, I'm scared. The thunder. Alice, go back to your room. I'll come to you later, okay? I need to take care of him first. You're treating him? She asked, stepping closer, her eyes locked onto the scene before her, you kneeling in front of Jungkook. Yes, he's hurt. He just got back. Let me do it. She starts quickly moving toward him. Alice, no, I can handle this. Oh, but does it hurt? She interrupted, completely ignoring you as she crouched down beside you, looking up at Jungkook with exaggerated concern. Jungkook's jaw flexed. He didn't respond. Here, Oppa, let me help. She reached forward and abruptly snatched the collar from your hand. Hey, you barely had time to react before she shoved your shoulder, pushing you back. Alice, stop. I just said I'll treat him. She snapped, you are not even a nurse. You are probably making it worse. You stared at her, breath catch, completely thrown by her behavior. You opened your mouth to defend yourself, but she pushed you again. Harder, what is wrong with you? You shouted, finally raising your voice. But Jungkook remained silent, still watching. He didn't stop her, didn't even flinch. You turned your head slowly, hoping, praying that he would say something, that he would tell her to move, that he would look at you instead, but he didn't. His expression was carved from stone, eyes half lidded, lips pressed in a cold, unreadable line. That silence cut deeper than any slap. Your hands fell to your lap, your fingers curled into fists, hearts hollow and heavy. Without another word, you gathered the pieces of the first aid kit that had scattered during the push and stood up. Alice was still talking to him. Opa, I think you should change out of these wet clothes. You'll get sick. I'll get you a towel, okay? You didn't wait to hear the rest. You turned and walked away, shoulders trembling, eyes blurring with tears that finally refused to hold back. You walked away from the living room slowly, shoulders slumped, heart heavy. The silence behind you felt deafening, colder than the rain still lashing the windows. Your footsteps echoed faintly in the hallway as you disappeared from sight, but as soon as you were gone, a weak little smile curled on Alice's lips. She stood beside the couch, still clutching the first aid kit, but now with no more performance in her tone, only strategy in her eyes, Alice thought. You think you're so special, Uni, that just because you married him, you own him, please. Men don't stay loyal to weak hearted girls. You didn't deserve her, you never did. She tilted her head slightly toward Jungkook, watching him in silence. Her eyes softened again, putting on a new layer of a fake innocence. Opa, do you want me to make some tea for you, or should I bring you dry cloths? But Jungkook didn't even look at her. His jaw was tired, the pain in his leg obvious, but he ignored her presence completely. Without a word, he slowly pushed himself off the couch, letting out a soft grunt as he limped toward the hallway. Alice blinked, surprised by his indifference. Opa, wait, you shouldn't walk like that. Let me help you. But he didn't stop, didn't respond. He just dragged his injured leg behind him, his figure disappearing into the shadows as he entered his bedroom, shutting the door with a soft click. Alice's smile faded. Still pretending to be the cold husband. Don't worry, Oppa, I'll warm you up eventually, one way or another. Meanwhile, you stood in the bathroom, steam rising gently around you as the hot water hit your skin, but your heart remained cold. You close your eyes into the shower, letting the droplets run down your face, mixing with the silent tears you couldn't hold anymore. Your chest ached with memories, wounds that had never quite healed. It was just last week that Alice came to stay with you. For only a week, she had claimed after that long, teary apology she gave months ago. But you remembered the night before your wedding vividly. You had not been able to sleep, and when you walked past the kitchen, you heard her voice. Whispering to your stepmother, I liked him first. Wine always gets what I want. Why her? I can make him happier. I would do anything to be in her place. Your stomach dropped. You had stood there frozen, hearing every venomous word. But the next day, she came to you with tears in her eyes, begging for forgiveness. She had apologized for her jealousy, for her bitterness, for everything, and like a fool, you forgive her. Now, with every passing day of her stay, her behavior had returned to exactly what it used to be, always hovering around Jungkook, always trying to catch his attention, always making little comments when he wasn't around, planting seeds of doubt in your heart. You really think he loves you? He looked annoyed when you touched him today. Only you are lucky he married you. Some girls would kill for a man like him. You turned off the shore with a sigh and stepped out, wrapping yourself in a towel. The storm outside had calmed slightly, but inside you everything still raged. After dressing in soft cotton pajamas, you stepped into the hallway. The house was quiet now, only the soft humming of rain on the windows remained. But as you turned the corner, you saw him, Jungkook. Standing near the kitchen counter, holding onto it for support. His shirt had been changed, but his hair was still damp. He looked tired, worn. His leg was clearly in pain, but he had not called you. Without hesitation, you ran to him. Jungkook, you should have called me. Are you okay? Do you need anything? You reached out to help him, gently touching his arm, but he pulled his hand back with a quiet but clear resistance. Why did you leave me alone there? His voice was low, calm, but it carried a weight that made your throat tighten. You blinked. I I didn't mean to. You didn't say anything. You just sat there and he cut you off with a look, not angry, not emotional, just cold. You lowered your gaze, hands twisting together nervously. You know, it's hard to stay when I feel like a stranger in my own house. There was a pause. Neither of you spoke. I didn't leave because I wanted to, Chongkook. I left because I didn't want to fight in front of her. Because she always twists things, you know what she's like. Chongkook didn't respond. He simply turned away, limping slowly back toward the bedroom. And you were left standing there in the hallway, watching his retreating figure, wondering how long you could hold on before everything crumbled. Next morning, the rain had stopped, but the sky was still painted in soft grey, as if the storm had left a trace of sorrow behind. You stood near the dining table, ready to head out for something important. A document you had to pick up from the courier office, a small matter but urgent. You turned to Chongko, who sat on the couch with his phone in hand, still limping slightly from the night before. Chongkook, I have to step out for a bit, just for an hour or two. He didn't look up at first, but finally his eyes flicked toward you. Where are you going? Just to the courier office. There is an important package I need to sign for. He nodded once. Be careful. That simple sentence almost startled you. It wasn't warm, but it wasn't cold either. A strange in between tone. You gave him a small smile and turned to leave. Just then, Alice emerged from her own dressed and ready, clearly trying too hard with her makeup for a casual visit to a friend. Only wait, I'm going out too. Want me to drop you? Sure, if it's on your way. Of course, she said with a wide smile, but her eyes glinted with something else. Something sharper. You didn't see it, but Jungkook did. About an hour later, Jungkook sat in the study room going through a few emails when suddenly, slam, the front door burst open and Alice ran in breathless, almost dramatically panicked. Oppa, listen, I need to tell you something important. Jungkook looked up from his screen, slightly startled by her urgency. What happened? Alice pouted, placing a hand on her chest as if catching her breath. Why? She asked me to give her 1 million won from you. His brows furrowed immediately. Why? His tone was sharp. Got it. She said she forgot her card and wanted to buy this expensive necklace. She said you wouldn't mind, but I just felt uncomfortable. He blinked slowly. 1 million won. You never ask for money. He always gave you whatever you needed before you even asked. A necklace? Yes, she said it's just a small thing, but she leaned in, lowering her voice dramatically. Isn't that what gold diggers do, Oppa? He flinched slightly at her words, a muscle in his jaw twitched. You're so kind to her, but she's starting to ask for more. I thought you should now. He didn't say anything for a few seconds. He just stared at the floor, the seed of doubt now planted. After a long silence, he finally stood up and pulled out his wallet. Without another word, he handed Alice the money. Here, give it to her. Of course, Oppa. She smiled sweetly before turning and walking off, the satisfaction glowing in her eyes. Let's see how you explain this one to me. Four hours later, the door opened. Alice stepped inside, humming softly, holding a small bag of snacks in one hand and your package in the other. Your smile was genuine. You had finally received a small refund for an order, and even though it was barely anything, it made you feel light, free for once to enjoy something without guilt. You walked into the kitchen where Alice was texting someone. Oh, yes, I got money today. Finally, we will treat ourselves tonight, huh? You laughed softly, not noticing that Jungkook was standing silently behind the living room wall listening. He stepped forward slowly. Did you buy the necklace? You blinked, turning around in confusion. What necklace? Jungkook's voice hardened, his stare sharp. The one you asked 1 million won for, I gave it to Alice to give to you. Your face went pale. What? No, no, please believe me, Jungkook. I never asked for that. I swear on everything. But before you could finish, stop playing. His voice thundered across the room, sharp and loud enough to make you flinch. You have never asked for money before, but now suddenly 1 million won for what jewelry? You step back, your heart pounding. I didn't ask her, I swear, Jungkook. Why would I? Why would I do that to you? Because maybe Alice was right. Maybe you really are a gold digger after all. The words hit you harder than any slap. Your lips parted, but no sound came out. Your eyes burned as you looked at him, your husband, the man you had been praying for just last night, now accusing you of something so vile. And just a few steps away, Alice stood with her arms crossed and what ever so sweet smile curling on her lips, watching you break exactly as you planned. Your lips trembled, fingers clutched tightly together as you stared at Jungkook, his words still echoing like gunshots in your mind, gold digger. The same man you had cried for last night, the man you had prayed for, worried about, and loved quietly through his every storm. He had actually said it. Your voice broke into a whisper as a single tear slipped down your cheek, trailing across your skin like a line of betrayal. Did you really believe that, Jungkook? Your legs felt weak, your chest rising and falling in uneven breaths. You were not even angry, you were shattered. For a moment, he didn't move. His cold expression lingered, but something behind it cracked. His eyes twitched, his jaw loosened. Then he finally spoke, softer this time, softer than you expected. Come here. You hesitated, but slowly, like a moth drawn to a flame that once warmed you. You stepped toward him. The room felt silent again. The word paused. He reached out and gently tugged you by the wrist, pulling you down onto his lap, his arms wrapped firmly around your waist as if grounding you to him. And one hand came up to hold your face, his thumb brushing away the tear that had fallen. What if I told you, he whispered, eyes locked on yours, that I never believed her. You blinked confused, heart pounding. What? Chungkook's voice dropped lower, eyes narrowing slightly, but now with something else in them. Fire, you really think I believed her when you have never once asked me for money, even when I tried to spoil you? Before you could even respond, the front door burst open. Two tall guards entered, each gripping tightly onto someone struggling in between them. Alice, her face was red with panic, her arms flaring wildly. Hey, let me go. What are you doing, Oppa? She stopped abruptly when she saw you sitting on Jungkook's lap, the color drained from her face, her eyes fixed from her tear streaked cheeks to his arm wrapped protectively around your waist, and then to his gaze, calm, dark, and smirking. Welcome back home, Alice. He leaned his chin slightly on your shoulder. Did you find the necklace? Alice's mouth opened, but no words came out. I know. Actually, Wine forced me. She told me to ask for the money. I didn't want to lie. She told me to do it. You turned your head sharply, disbelief crashing over you again, but Jungkook chuckled coldly. Is that so? He tilted his head, the smirk never leaving his lips. The woman who never even spends my money on herself suddenly wants to steal it for her. Alice froze. You really think she would want a cheap necklace when her entire wardrobe is full of designer pieces she hasn't even touched? Alice's eyes widened in horror. Caught. Her lips quivered as she looked at him, then at you. Her lies shattered in seconds. Jungkook's gaze sharpened. You lied under my roof, tried to turn my wife into a thief in my eyes. You manipulated me. You tried to come between what's mine. His voice was ice now. The basement is waiting for you, Alice. Your heart skipped. What? You gasped, looking at him in shock. Jungkook, what are you saying? She deserves it for all her games. She's thought I wouldn't notice. No, please. You grabbed his hand, your eyes pleading, don't do this, let her go. I don't ever want to see her again. I swear I'll never let her stay here. Not even for a second, but don't ruin your hands for someone like her. Why? She's still my stepsister, a part of my past, not my future. Don't give her power over our peace. Just let her go, please, for the sake of my love for you. His eyes flickered with emotion. The tension in his shoulders eased as he looked at you, really looked at you. Your trembling lips, the way you held on to him, the way even now you choose peace over revenge. After a long pause, he sighed. He leaned forward and pressed a kiss on your forehead, long and slow, a silent apology, a wow unspoken. Then he raised his hand slightly toward the guards. Let her go. The guards obeyed immediately, releasing Alice, who stumbled forward, still shaken, too shocked to even run. She glanced at you one last time, but you didn't look back. You had buried her from your heart the moment she tried to destroy yours. She slipped out of the house without another word. You turned back to Jungkook, still on his lap, still breathless. Your eyes met. And you suddenly leaned into his chest, wrapping your arms around him, clinging to him like he was the only place left in the world that felt safe. He held you tighter, no more coldness, no more doubts, only you and him, and the fragile love you were finally starting to rebuild from truth.